Hey folks, Flo here at Scaling Up 2023. I'm here with Ian MacGregor of Hydrogen Naturally. But why don't you tell us what Hydrogen Naturally is in 30 seconds or less?
Okay, so we built a large oil refinery in Alberta. We decided we could use the same processes we used in the oil refinery to convert wood waste into hydrogen and pure CO2, sequester the CO2 that the tree took the carbon out of the air. We take that carbon, put it in a machine that makes it into hydrogen and pure CO2, and then we sequester the CO2. So the hydrogen that comes out of it is carbon negative, not neutral, because the trees took that carbon out of the air.
Okay, very good. 30 seconds. Perfect. Game on. So what brings you to Scaling Up?
I don't know, I guess they were looking for some old guys to come out and talk, so they found me.
Fair enough, fair enough. So something you talked about in your presentation was the process of replacing the declining pulp industry, which of course is a legacy industry for Canada and a lot of jobs and economic impact.
Yeah, so I don't think that happens in 10 minutes. What I think is the plants that we're building essentially sell carbon in a different way. So instead of selling paper cups, we're being paid for the carbon extraction value from the environment. We're getting carbon credits that essentially are our revenue stream for the plant. So we make money from hydrogen and we make money from the carbon that we take out of the air. And that turns out to be worth more than a paper cup is.
Okay. So it seems to me like hydrogen kind of came out of nowhere over the last maybe 3 to 5 years, where Canada suddenly embraced this as potentially a major opportunity industrially, economically for Canada. Can you sort of bring it in context a little bit for us and perhaps quantify the opportunity?
You know, I don't know about any of that stuff. I mean, I'm from Alberta. We have oil refineries in Alberta. When you refine oil, you chop up the long molecules into short ones and you put hydrogen on the end, so you need a lot of hydrogen. Okay. So in the refinery I built, we use 150 million standard cubic feet of hydrogen a day. What we built is the largest blue hydrogen plant in the world in that refinery. There's about half a dozen of them in Alberta. They all need hydrogen. So we know how to use hydrogen for that, colossal quantities. We know how to use hydrogen for fertilizer. We make fertilizer, a lot of it there, that's made from hydrogen. And we could use hydrogen for electricity. So people are talking about, you know, I take hydrogen and I make a distribution network and I have a hydrogen pump someplace along the way. We don't need to do any of that. We just need to put hydrogen, low carbon hydrogen, in the front end of the refinery, and everything that comes out of it is low carbon. Why do we need to build all that other crap? So where I'm at is, I'm getting old. I want to do stuff I can do in a reasonable length of time. And I'm never going to see a hydrogen service station, but I'm going to see a normal gas station that's got low carbon diesel fuel in it. That's what I want to make.
Yeah, for sure. No, I appreciate that. Low-hanging fruits, doing things sequentially, right?
Let's do the easy things first, and then we'll worry about the hard ones later.
Fair enough, fair enough. What's the role of government, or government's plural, since we have multiple levels in Canada, in this industry today?
So, I mean, what the government has said they're going to do is they're going to help you by giving you investment tax credits that buy down the cost of building these things. When we build the first one, it's going to be expensive because it's copy one. When we build the second one, it'll be cheaper. When we build the third one, it'll be cheaper yet. So the federal government has said they'll give you refundable investment tax credits. They said they'll give them to you. If you make the hydrogen from natural gas, you get them. If you make the hydrogen from electricity and water, you get them. But if you make it from wood, they're silent. We think that was an oversight. We think that wood should count. Who cares where the stuff comes from? Use the stuff that's here. And Alberta said they'll support us. We're trying to, down here, talking to the federal government saying, can you help us out and let us qualify for the rest of the rules? We're not asking for any special treatment. We just want to be treated the same as everybody else.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. And I think you talked about flying cars in your presentation. Can you tell us in 30 seconds what the crux of that story is?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I got a Mechanics Illustrated. I used to love Mechanics Illustrated. I'm an engineer. So I love Mechanics Illustrated. 1957, they show this yellow flying car. You know, everybody's going to be driving these flying cars. 1957. It's back. We're seeing them now again in 2023. We're seeing flying cars in all the magazines again. That's how likely the path we're on is to happen. It's too complicated. We have to do things that are logical progressions from where we are. There's no transformation, there's no disruption, there's no moonshots. The only moonshot, there was only one moonshot, that's because the US government decided to make it. We're not big enough to do that. We got to do things that are logical, sequential, economic, and possible. No flying cars.
No flying cars. Okay, well, too bad. Thank you very much, Ian.
Yeah, thanks a lot.